to today's webinar. Today's webinar will be on the projects module and its interfaces to cost accounting, FEMA, the imaging module, graphics analysis, and several other interfaces. To start, let's minimize this. To start the projects module from the quickest menu, just highlight projects, press the enter key, and this brings up the projects browse. You can see the total number of projects you have and then the number of active projects. As you complete a project, it falls off this list or this subtotaling number. If you want to update all costs on all projects, you can click this button, or if you want to update all costs and only the fiscal year costs on the project, you can click this button. In doing it, it brings up these totals, which then let you see your budget that you have set up for your projects, if you have set up one, compared to the actual, and then you can do analysis on that. We also have the send button, so you can send selected projects, which you can select with a query option. And then the help brings you into the, basically explains everything going on the help button. When you click on a button, it goes down to the explain that particular item. So let's take a look at, you can also look at just your closed projects, which we have no closed projects here, by the fiscal year, the current fiscal year, or any open projects. So let's tell you what, let's refresh and we'll start this again. And also all these column headers are hot, so you can find any data by any criteria. So let's take a look at the asphalt 08. Your naming convention, it works with any naming convention you want to use. We try to make our naming conventions fairly explanatory, like this would be all asphalt projects in 2008. If you had multiple, name them by any other criteria, or -1, 2, or whatever is meaningful for you. So this particular project will describe the parameters, attributes of this project, the expected length of time, the average daily traffic count, and current as well as future estimated. The start date, anytime you review it, you would want to update this last reviewed date. If the contracts, if you have contracts on this particular project and they're amended, record the date. This is the estimated percent completed, and this is a number primarily furnished to you by the project manager. So their estimated percent complete is not necessarily based on the dollar spent, it's on the actual progress of the job or of the project. So their estimated percentage complete, and when you fill the completed date, then this closes the project as completed. Excuse me. The fund sources provided, you may have county sources, city sources, state sources, federal sources, or other sources. Other sources could be like corporate money that's put into the project, or some other type of funding. This gives you your grand total of money available, funds available. And then if you want to budget a little closer, you can estimate the dollars of labor and the labor hours, the material dollars, the equipment runtime hours, and then the equipment dollar cost, and then any contracts you let on your project. The material number here, in order to keep everything balanced, the material number is a plug number. So if these add up to the 325 that is budgeted. The specifications tab goes into following closer specifications on this particular project, the asphalt 08. This would be an asphalt project. It could be that you have to do some grading if you're starting out at base level. There's right-of-way work to be done, and possibly fencing. These, of course, always change with the type of project you're working on. If there's a bridge to be replaced, you might want to track the old bridge length, width, type compared to the new one, box culverts or culverts. There are several memo tables to keep track of the project progress notes, the existing surface type and structures that you're replacing, the revision, the reason for if you have revision, the location description, other construction features, and other attributes to further describe a project. The Detail Cost Analysis tab brings up all the cost accounting records and fund accounting records that have been charged to this project. Let's click here on Contractor, and I think we have 1 or 2 charges to this. I saw an $80,000. Yeah, we'll go over here to the total. You can subset the records in here and then send them out to your quite get it. If you want to analyze the project, we click the green check mark, and then it will total. We click Calc Variances. It'll total the dollars actually being spent at this time, compare it to the budget, and then calculate your variances for you. We have pretty much a big overrun here in the equipment hours and equipment dollars, but total spending is only about 5% over what we had budgeted so far. But if we look back to the project description, the project manager thinks it's only about 80% done. So this is all demo data, of course, but when you use real data, you can track it very closely. But this will give you a tip-off. If you have like all of your money spent or more than all your money spent and you still only have 80% of the project done, then that might red flag this particular project. Once you analyze it, you can click the Graph It button and select Bar Graph, and then it'll blow those numbers out so you can see your actual cost compared to your budgeted cost. Select different options and send it out to a printer, or take a picture of it and put it in a Word document, that sort of thing. So those are basically the interfaces that go out to cost accounting, fund accounting, and they're all basically automatic. The linking bit of data is when you charge a cost accounting record or a fund accounting record. If you charge it to a project, then it automatically falls in under here for analysis. You also can attach a picture or multiple pictures of the project. This might be one of the damaged asphalt site road locations. So you can put multiple pictures in. This is a pre-project picture. Picture as it. The key to putting multiple pictures in, this is Asphalt 08 project. You'd want to name the very first picture. Let's go to it. The very first picture would be asphalt08.jpg or whatever type of image you want to use. The next picture then would be asphalt-08-1-2-3 to get you multiple pictures. The estimator module also links in here. You can estimate a project out in the estimator module and then link it in and select, and it will preload all your total fund sources. So let's see, this pretty much covers the project model. The project module is basically the glue that holds the system together, because nearly everything you do is attached to some sort of a project, as far as work being accomplished, equipment work in the shop, repair work, or anything you do. It then is a glue that ties all of the data together. The heart of the system is really the cost and fund accounting system, because they record any work accomplished or money being spent, and then they in turn relate back through the project module. So that pretty much covers the project module. The video will be out on the website by tomorrow afternoon, www.compulink-ltd.com. So if you have any questions, check out the videos. We also have about a dozen videos and about 30 or so slideshows, as well as other information out there. So that pretty much covers today. Next week we're going to, instead of going to property